All right, cool.
Hey.
Hey.
Weird. Vamp for time for
Okay.
me here, Pat, because for some reason it's saying that we're
Vamp.
not live on Facebook.
Vamp.
It looks like the stream was deleted on Facebook. Okay.
Example click. Where do you see that?
Up there on the top right of our behind the screen.
I don't see that.
Let's see.
Go live. Let me hit go live. This looks.
Well,
like...
it's gone now. I don't know how to get it back, but whatever. Apparently, we're not live on Facebook. But we'll just have to live. Hi, everybody. We're clearly talking to our YouTube and X audience because we're not talking to our Facebook audience. That's for sure. Something in the software must have gone haywire that we are not currently on Facebook. See, if you look at the top.
Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, it's got like. I tried to reconnect it.
Yeah,
but you can fool with it if you want. I'm just going to welcome everybody to a Saturday Matinee Theater live stream edition. You're going to get to watch us record this for reals. We're going to be talking about Adventures of Robin Hood. This is American release episode 13, I do believe.
Yes.
And let's see. I'm waiting on our cohorts. I see Delvin slowly coming in there. He is.
If you're watching us on, we got some people watching us on the X.
Yep.
Go ahead and shout out in the chat for us on the X. Let's just make sure that's working for us.
Delvin and give
him us a helping hand.
There we go. There's Delvin with a square.
Square to spare. Delvin, you got a few squares to spare?
Sounds like you're talking about prison talk.
All right.
Yeah.
Delvin and Jason coming in 2 minutes late to the live stream. So
the wire.
They are banned from all further content.
Yep. Oh, all right.
I've always been banned.
We're just gonna delete everything you say on every show. So it'll be like, hey, what was your silly Spidey moment? We're not even gonna truncate the silence. We're just gonna mute the. That's it. All right, everyone's here. So we are ready to talk about Robin Hood.
You know, it says private chat. Is this private?
You're in the wrong.
Oh, that's because he's not in backstage officially. He's not in as a user. He's in.
Oh, he used a link.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The link. You couldn't get in on the normal link?
No, like StreamYard now. It's being persnickety.
Yes. Behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen, StreamYard is being persnickety and only letting like 3 of us log in behind the scenes at any given moment. So the fourth man has to use the link like a regular person.
That's exactly what happened to me and why I was late. Is StreamYard was being persnickety.
Making things up. All right. The bad news is, I guess, that unless Delvin's watching on YouTube as well, yeah, it's going to be hard to capture people in the chat.
I will do that. I will go on YouTube.
Don't forget to mute it.
And don't forget to like and share, Delvin, while you're on the YouTube.
And comment.
Make sure you like, share, and comment. Like every minute, make a comment, and that would extremely help us out.
Okay. I will do what I can.
Your comments go a long way.
All right.
That's right. Well, I mean, to everyone listening, though, comments go a long way. So please leave a comment on YouTube.
Exactly.
We are looking for engagement that way.
Even if that comment is like, Jason, get your S together and get there on time. I'll take
that would be funny if Delvin left that, since he literally showed up like 8 seconds before you did.
What are you talking about? I was here on time. I don't know if he's like, cool.
I knew I was late. I saw Delvin in there when I popped in. I was
oh no. All right. Well, if you are watching, it looks like we got a good handful of watchers. Stop by and say hello in the chat, because that's how you get entered to win free stuff in the raffle. And I was just telling Pat, the raffle stuff stack off to my right here is insanely large. I've got to give some stuff away. So, yeah, I think this might be a Sherlock Holmes kind of day. I've got a bunch of Sherlock Holmes books. So if that's exciting to you, if it's not, tell me what is exciting to you in the chat. And I probably have it in my stack of stuff over here.
Yep.
So there's that.
Yeah, and chat us wherever you're at. If you're on the X, chat us in the X. We can see it. If you're on the YouTube, chat us on the YouTube. You get in on that raffle. Doesn't matter where you're at. Just chat.
Just chat. Yeah, we got going on about 20 people watching now. That's awesome. Hello, everybody. Stop by, say hi in the chat. And we're going to do a show. With that, anybody got anything else before we start this recording? No, man. Got a couple guys on mute and everything. All right, then I'll light this candle. We will start recording Saturday Matinee Theater episode 95 in 3, 2, and 1. Hello and welcome to episode 95 of Saturday Matinee Theater, brought to you by your friends right here at the Longbox Crusade. We are in jolly old England. We are in our recording studio that's set up deep inside Sherwood Forest. I am your host, Jared Albrecht, the yard sale artist, and joining me as always is the Little John to my Robin Hood is Pat Sampson, aka DJ Cristados. How are we feeling today, Cristados?
Yeah, Jared. Yeah, I'm doing good. Man, I tell you, my arms are sore because, just coming back from doing some wood chopping, trying to show some punk kid how to chop some wood and do it really quick.
Yeah, you got to teach the youth, man.
Yeah, I'm chopping this wood, and twofold here is because we need some extra wood at the bar, at the tavern that me and Dave own while we're here. So we're checking on it. And I told Dave, I was like, hey, it's my turn. I'll go ahead and chop some wood for the tavern. But
you and Dave.
Yep. Because we like to, some of the nights get a little chilly. And so we like to have a little more fire around at the tavern. And when we're running some specials. So, we got a pint special going on right now. Yep.
Here we go.
Yep. Couple dollars. $2 and you can just have a pint and just come on down to Pat and Dave's Merry Men Tavern. That's Pat and Dave's Merry Men Tavern.
Feel bad for whoever has to clean this show. All right. Okay. Oh, Delvin's throw hands down there in the corner. Anyway, let's move along. Joining me is the ugliest maid Marian of all time, is my older, wiser brother, Jason the Weasel Skull Albrecht. How are we doing today, Jason?
I'm doing fine. Just wondering how much wood would a Cristados chop if a Cristados could chop wood. Do have a serious question there, though. I've been spending a lot of time running around with Robin Hood in the middle of Sherwood Forest. I'm wearing my little boy outfit to run around like a little boy, shooting the arrows and everything. And, I feel like I'm putting in a lot of effort, and I feel like he's spending a little too much time with the lady at the Blue Boar Inn, if you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I got my eye on you, lady at the Blue Boar Inn.
She liked her some Robin, and Robin didn't really complain, did he?
He was like, treat me like one of your Robin.
Treat me like one of your lady friends.
Robin was like, word? I remember her from like first or second episode we did.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, that's when I made that joke because all those soldiers were hitting on her and she was rejecting them, and I said, more like the blue balls in, am I right? And you all just looked at me
like the way we're looking at you now.
Like that.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is a good time to change the topic. We also have with us our own lovable Friar Tuck. It is Delvin the Dark Web Williams. And how do we do today, Friar?
We're doing pretty good. At Robin's request, I went and I did some research, and it turns out that 75% of this crew is a bunch of jackasses.
I'm glad I'm not part of that 75.
Like
me neither.
Like one pretty good person, the other three jackasses.
Wait, so only one of us is a pretty good person?
That's almost half.
Yeah, I mean, I did the research, Jason.
We're closing in. We're improving.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to make a case. I am definitely on Jackass Island, as Auburn says. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to say that I'm a pretty good person. One cool guy. Well, whoever's with Pat is the cool guy. So it's complicated. Anyway, it is just the four of us here today to talk about Adventures of Robin Hood. And Pat, in case this is someone's first time tuning in, first we want to say welcome to that person. Pat, tell them what they're in for. Well, tell them what the script says that they're in for. Don't tell them what they're really in for.
Oh, okay. I'll tell them. Let me follow the script here. And the script says, "Thank you, Jared. I am glad you asked. Saturday Matinee Theater is a retro review, sometimes index show brought to you by the Longbox Crusade, where we will be taking you back to the past with some potentially overlooked retro awesomeness in the realm of television, movie serials, or films. Basically, if it's vintage and it's kind of forgotten, we're going to dig it up. On this episode, we will continue our indexing of all 39 episodes of the 1955 television series, The Adventures of Robin Hood. 1955's Robin Hood was produced by Sapphire Films, run by Hannah Weinstein and Sidney Cole. It starred Richard Green as Robin Hood and Alan Wheatley as the Sheriff of Nottingham. So take refuge in the forest, take off your quiver of arrows, get cozy around that fireplace, and let the gregarious music of the merry men whisk you away into the past. But don't forget to make sure you're home before curfew."
Pat, the only thing that you missed was the loot. Where's the
Oh,
loot?
yeah. I forgot the... Oh, shoot.
Good call, Delvin. Good call.
Okay, here we go.
I'm here for that.
Here we go.
There you go. Okay. There we go. I feel better now.
Yeah, I do too. I was like, something's missing here. All right. Before we hand it over to Delvin for this episode's info, let's take a look, or in this case, a listen, or in this case, a look if you've joined the live stream, because I will play it for you guys, to a commercial that would have been playing at the time this episode was released back in 1955. This will help us get in the right time frame of mind, if you will, and transport us back to the 50s for this episode's commercial retro rewind. We have something near and dear to the hearts of one of our participants here today. We're going to talk about the Bank of America. Let's see if I can't pull that up for you guys.
Do you have money jitters? Ask the obliging Bank of America for a jar of soothing instant money, M-O-N-E-Y, in the form of a convenient personal loan. Available now at Bank of America.
Well, all right.
That's to the point.
It was simple and to the point. Let's see. Let me look at the. You know what? I'm not even going by the script. Delvin, you get the first word.
I don't know. I kind of look like that when I get my paycheck, actually.
The jitters. You got them shakes.
Yeah, and then I get it. It feels better for a second, then the jitters come right back. I don't know what's up with that. Please, may I have some more now? Battening down the hatches and other financial terms. I don't know. Like I'm just saying that in general. Like it's not like I work for the bank or anything like that. So yeah, commercials about short and sweet. Even though it's funny, it's like I know they were ripping off of like get your boots, like kind of like coffee. You got the jitters or whatever, but it comes across looking like, I don't know, crack cocaine.
It does.
It does. It really does.
Hey, I love that buddies too. Jason, tell me what the Bank of America commercial did for you.
Well, I often have the money jitters. Delvin, can you give me some of that sweet mason jar full of cash that apparently you have just lying around that you can hand out at Bank of America and give to folks like me?
Well below my pay grade, brother. Well below.
Darn it.
Yeah, swing and a miss. And Pat.
Yeah, that hit close to home for me because I get the jitters when I'm asking for money, but it's not from a bank. I'm just asking my wife for some lunch money. And I'm like, can you open that jar of peanut butter for me so I can get something to eat? And does it got any money in it? And
What do
your
you say
jar
to
have peanut
Pat with
butter
two
or
blood?
money?
what is that?
Does the jar have peanut butter in it or money? I'm confused.
Yeah.
All depends on how hungry I am. I'm just looking for some lunch,
All
whether
right.
it's money from, asking my loan officer or if I.
So let me tell you about the jitters when you try to go to ask for some money from the treasurer of the Longbox Crusade. When you're just trying to
That's
ship
true.
some packages, it is an ordeal. That's all I can say. It's all.
Not for me. It was always pretty easy for me. I don't
It was
know what you're
easy for
talking
most
about.
people, as I've
Yeah.
heard. I've heard.
He was very giving and understanding.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't ever.
So
have a
Jared,
problem at all
I
there.
just checked the records again, and the treasurer is friendly to 75% of the Longbox Crusade.
Those numbers keep
75%.
adding
Oh,
up.
that's a good.
All right. Well, anyways, that was a very simple, short and sweet 1955 commercial. For those of you who weren't watching live and listen, it was completely animated, and the little cartoon guy, man, he did look like he was on crack, and it was pretty fun. But before I hand it over to Delvin for the episode info, I'm going to say hi to some of the folks who've joined us live. I'll say hi to Auburn Elvis, to Kathy, and I think Radio Stories Now might be new. So welcome, Radio Stories Now, who I think I know from X. So if that be the case, then welcome. And with that, Delvin.
Sorry, what's up to shenanigans in the chat? Episode 13, Jared, it was titled The Youngest Outlaw. The original air date was December 19th, 1955. The director was Bernard Knowles. The writer was John Dyson, with guest stars Rufus Cruikshank as Little John. What? Alexander Gage as Friar Tuck. Bernadette O'Farrell as Maid Marian. Peter Asher as Prince Arthur. And Dorothy Allison as Constance, Duchess of Brittany. And Bruce Seton as Lord Torrance. As a reminder, all 39 episodes are available on YouTube. We highly encourage you to watch this episode before proceeding with this podcast, because not only is it just more fun that way, but Jared is about to give a synopsis about this episode, and then we're going to discuss it. There are going to be some spoilers heading your way, folks, so if you haven't watched this episode, we recommend you pause here, go check it out on YouTube, and come back and join our discussion. It's only 26 minutes per episode. I just watched it. It was like 25 and like change. And it's not that big of a time to manage. The point here, if you're watching along with us, we would love to hear your insights. Don't forget to give us your comments either at contact@longboxcrusade.com, at Longbox Crusade on X, Facebook, Instagram, or Blue Sky, or leave a voice message at 707-532-5269. That is 707-532-LBOX.
I can't come off you fast enough. I was enraptured with the loot.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy to get enraptured with the loot, Jared. And with that, let's turn it over to Jared for the episode summary.
Never should have told me to get that loot out. All right, I could do that. Robin and Marion find a spirited young boy in the woods, and the boy is dead set on becoming an outlaw in Robin's band of merry men. As Little John trains him to be an outlaw, Robin meets with the representative of the boy's mother to discover that the boy is actually a duke, and he's next in line to be the king of England. So, of course, Robin returns the boy to his mother, only to discover that he's been duped. It's not the real Duchess. It's an agent of the evil Prince John who's trying to eliminate, and by that I mean murder, the boy so that his path to the throne will be assured. Will Robin be in time to correct his error? Tune in, find out. This is where the loop music would be great.
Now we need the loop music.
Here we go.
Perfect. This is why the live viewers get to find out how this all goes before we edit it in post. All right, guys, it's time to talk highs, lows, and what those. We will start with Pat.
Oh, well, you know, I'm just going to start us off here, and it's probably, I don't know if everybody thought this thing too, but this one was way different than what we have seen before. I don't think there was a lot of like comedic aspects of it. This was like a very special Robin Hood, you know. I felt like the lessons they were kind of saying is like, hey kid, don't run away, and you know, I get why the kid ran away, but it felt very special. There wasn't a lot of, I felt different about it.
Pat, it didn't feel terribly different to me.
Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way at all.
No, but what I do want to point out is when Delvin did the episode info, it's a new writer and a new director.
Oh,
so you may have very well picked up on some vibe that, I mean, I didn't realize that until I started feeling it. This was a weird one because
it felt more straightforward or more.
Yeah, well, new writer, new director. So you definitely got a different vibe, I suppose. But yeah, I did the episode info on this one, and this one's exceptionally weird because we've discovered through all the various shenanigans and tomfoolery that we're actually watching them in the American release order. So this is the 13th episode here in America. This is the 33rd episode or something like that in England. Like this one's really wonked. So that may, you know, in England, maybe they're watching them as they're produced. So maybe it kind of the flow of the show changes. And this is sort of an abrupt jump in the watching order, or it could be the new director, new writer. But I don't know. It didn't hit me as hard, but we'll continue that talking point as we go around to Delvin and see what he has to say. Yeah, did you feel it different? And then feel free to make whatever your round 1 point was going to be.
It's possible that just because I had to rush and watch it a little bit, like I didn't notice a little bit of direction of anything. Like once I started watching it, it's probably just because of the trust that I developed in Robin Hood. It was always just like, it's just cozy and watch this Robin Hood.
It's a comfortable show. It's comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of how I felt. It's like, so like, I didn't notice much of a difference. And then sure enough, going into it, I was like, okay, the kid is coming across as, well, the first thing they did is establish the character of the kid. Like first the kid went into hiding, you know, because there's a dog after him. That makes sense. But then he saw the dog was drowning. And so then he did everything he could to try and save the dog. And it was like, okay, kid's got humanity. Ain't nobody going to save a dog and then turn around and then be like, I double-crossed you, Robin Hood. I happen to be noble and save dogs, but I'm a double-crosser. No, that's just not how it happens. So like the kid came across as plucky. Plucky's a good word for it. And the thing that I loved, and they did it twice, almost just to heartwarming effect. You know, the kid's like, I'm a big boy. I can walk back by myself. And then both times as they're walking back to the camp,
sleeping, kid is sleeping. Robin's carrying him every time.
Yeah. So absolutely, it was adorable. So I didn't see much of a trade-off or anything. I thoroughly enjoyed the story.
As did I. And I gotta admit, and I hope I'm not taking someone's point, but that's a good way to get me invested in the show. That dog drowning at the beginning, I was like, you better save that dog. If you don't save the dog, I'm turning this off.
I thought there was like, I thought in like, is that quicksand or something? But he's just
like a ball or a mire.
Okay.
You know, or moor is another word they use over there in Jolly Old England. Plays heavily in the Hound of Baskervilles. But Jason, weigh in, sir. And what do you got?
I think building off of what Pat said about what made this show a little bit different is that Robin got duped. Like Robin's usually doing the duping. And this time he got duped. And what made it special for me was his reaction to it. Like he didn't sit there and cry and fuss. He's like, I screwed up and I got to make this right. And by making it right, he exposed himself to terrible danger by going across the fields. And they even said, you may not make it back. Because, I mean, he's got a price on his head. He's going out by himself. He's not taking, I know Little John didn't saddle up and go with him. He's like, let me go get my horse and make sure it's well fed and rested and bedded down for the night because I'm going with you on this one. Robin went by himself to fix the mess up that he made. So that was a little bit different, and in my mind, a positive difference, which will be reflected in my score.
Interesting. Yeah, got ourselves a pretty interesting issue here. I want to welcome our friend Scott to the chat. He's a frequenter over at Come Out to Play. Thanks for stopping by for Saturday Matinee Theater to talk about Robin Hood. And you know what? As we go into round 2, I would definitely love to involve the chat. Since we don't have a guest today, I would love to learn from the chat, what's your experience with Robin Hood? Where did you first find Robin Hood? And I'll be happy to read those answers in the chat. Like, what's your favorite version? Where'd you experience? And that kind of thing. We'd love to hear from that. So marinate on that, chat friends, as we go into round 2, which is back to Pat. I don't have a lot to add after round 1, except you better save that dog. That's all. It's funny. Okay, I will say this before you go, Pat. I was wondering, I was looking at how they filmed it because I watched this twice, right? So the second time I was like, how did they film that with a dog? And you can never quite see his back legs. I have this funny feeling that there's like a handler there just kind of tugging on his back legs.
Keeping him from getting somewhere.
So he's kind of scrambling in the water.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
But I was like, either way, that was a really cute dog. Anyway, back to you, Pat, for round 2.
It was, again, I just felt not bad, or I'm nothing against it. I just felt this was way different, that it was kind of personal, kind of special, different episode for this one. Jason took my thing of, every time someone gets duped, Ram got duped, like big time duped. And I thought I got duped too, because I was like, oh, me, he's going to get the kid back. And there might be some
I got duped too. I thought it was legit.
Yeah, I thought it was legit. I'm like, oh, yeah, the girl comes off legit. And, they're doing all this research. And then they come find out that it's not her. I was like, oh, holy cow. And you know what? I think what made it really fool me is that bar girl, because she was like, oh, hey, and he comes up on, kind of sneaks and tickles her on the sides a little bit. I thought, that little playfulness kind of threw me off a little bit. And so I didn't really, get sucked, I fell into the trap of being duped, because then right away they're talking to the lady. And it's like, okay, everything's cool here in the hood. And we're just, doing what we do here.
Good use of hood, by the way.
Yeah.
I like how that we've moved on from Pat being duped to getting the backstory on how it happened.
Yes. Yeah. The more in-depth dupeable, behind the dupe scenes, how it all began.
Behind the dupe. Yeah, man. I still like that gal at the Blue Boar, but it was weird to have Marion in this episode and Robin flirting with the gal at the Blue Boar.
And Marion's all in her nice little Robin Hoodie outfit. It's like, she's got nice clothes on.
Anyway,
but the Blue Boar girl can cook. That is that's a difference.
Marion has a staff that can cook. This gal can cook.
Yeah.
So it's like,
who would you choose?
Marion got that money though in that land. Remember when they're marrying her off to that German guy?
Sometimes money's not much over the love of the stomach.
We'll have to see how this turns out. There's gonna be heated arguments. I see you're going back to the Blue Boar again. Don't tell me my business, devil woman.
She could cook stew. It's rabbit stew, and she got them spices. She
microwave meals again. Oh.
I'm a simple man, Jared. That's all I'm saying. You cooking for me? Oh, man.
Well, you're on the mic, buddy. What do you got?
Man, good question. Let's talk about the boys some more. I think the thing that was just most enjoyable, we used the term agenda back in the day, right? Decades ago. And the boy had agenda. Even though, it turned out that he was who he was, at all points, he never came across with a little bit of attitude. But I thought, I guess, how sometimes you complain, when a kid is in a comic book, or sometimes a kid is in one of these features, you're like, that's not how a kid acts. I think that's how a kid acts. I'm tough. I'm tougher than this other kid. I can do more work, and he got duped like that. Or I'm big and brave and strong, and then he fell asleep on the way back. But sure enough, he took to the training. Like, he was very true to who he was, right? And so, like, when Robin Hood found himself in a scrape where the dude could have potentially really hurt him, the kid who was actually learning the lessons of the outlaw drew an arrow back and shot the guy in the arm. And it's like, heck yeah. Like for the span of 25 minutes, that was excellent character development for that young man. So, like, you at least want someone, if they're going to possibly ascend to nobility, to have once at least related to the commoners in some way. And so they did a very good job with that. And so that kind of speaks to the kid, but it speaks to the purity of the outlaws as well. I love how they just continue to do that, where like even the dupe lady was like, here's your money. And Robin's like, money? I ain't taking no money for this. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is a friend, like, this is a child and a child of an ally. Like, no, the nobility is the deed in here. Like, I'm not looking for reward for it. So, but all those elements combined just continue to make for a fantastic story for me.
I agree. And that was in my notes as well, Delvin, that like, I have a long-standing theory that kids ruin movies because the kid in a movie is always like the cause of the trouble or the misunderstanding, and it's annoying. This kid, no, man. This kid, like, I don't know if it's the director or the kid as an actor. It had to be a combination of both, but he really, like, just by his actions and stuff, really played.
Did we lose Jared, or did
I think we lost him.
I was wondering who it was. I was like,
did I lose myself? What's going on?
We did not. Like, and since it's Jared, he's probably going to go to, yep, he just texted power went out. Like, something happened.
Oh, no.
Let's see. What can we do from here? I mean, we can continue the show and, just say that he lost power, right? And it's for the purposes of editing. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I got it, y'all. For everyone, unfortunately, Jared's power went out. So hopefully we can get him back to the show. But who did we leave off on as far as thoughts? Jason, have you gone yet for round two?
No, I hadn't done my round two thoughts yet. I think I was the last one coming up. If you were done, Delvin.
I was done. Jared's about to log back in. So Jason, how about you give your thoughts and then we'll let Jared give his.
Yeah, I guess my second thought, I don't know if it's a low. It's definitely a what the. I don't understand why the villains didn't just kill the boy in Sherwood Forest, leave the body, and blame the outlaws. That's what I would have done. To take the boy back to the castle, to kill him in the castle, didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So
I guess the plan was to eventually kind of kill him, but maybe they were kind of keeping him around as insurance as well too, just in case.
Well,
that's why they put him in that prison-y kind of place.
Robin said that they wouldn't kill him at the Blue War and they wouldn't kill him in the forest. They would take him back to the castle where they could kill him in private. And I'm like, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I would kill him on that trail, blame Robin Hood and the outlaws, and get the King of England on Robin Hood's case as well. And that would take out two birds with one stone, in my opinion. Anyway, I wanted to throw that out.
I agree with that for the most part, Jason. I do. Like, I bought Robin Hood's explanation as to why, but I agree with your explanation as well. But these outlaws are different, like, to the point where they seem established enough that most people may not have bought that explanation. You get what I'm saying? Because Robin Hood, that's the thing that Robin Hood has been really great about. It's like, yes, we are outlaws, but we have a code. And there are certain things that we will do, and there are certain things that we absolutely will not. Like, for instance, if you were a true outlaw, a brigand, he would have killed that guy. like that he fought
Yeah.
with, and he didn't.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, no, you go ahead and go off and run off with your tail between your legs and know that you're beat by a better man, as opposed to now we're just going to run him through and leave him dead in the forest, right?
Yeah. No, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to what you were saying when they offered, when the fake mother offered the coin, and he basically said, you know, if I wanted your coin, I would have taken it.
Yeah.
So we'll take coin from time to time, but I won't take coin for this, and we definitely don't ransom young boys.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Pat, did you get your round in?
I did, but I'll just let's go talk about some fights.
Go for it.
There was some good sword fighting that went on in this one. Like I said, it was a kind of different one. I was waiting for some action to happen, and it finally did. And what I liked about it was, Robin, instead of getting out his bow, and that he actually had a nice kind of sword fight that we haven't seen too much in a while. And I thought it was really cool to see him fighting the guy with the sword, getting him to the point to where he didn't run him through. And again, we talk about how noble Robin is, and he's very noble. He's like, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to let you go so you can go back and tell your people that I'm not a pushover. And so then when he lets him go, luckily the kid, who was a great shot, obviously, the kid was boasting about how good he was, and finally gets a chance to show it, and hits that guy in the hand. I don't want an arrow in my hand. I don't want an arrow anywhere near me. But anyway, that's gotta hurt. And for that kid to just boom and do that, I'm expecting that a kid at his age, probably with the nobility, probably had to get some sort of a training a little bit to at least, back then had to have some sort of a upbringing around that stuff just to kind of defend himself a little bit.
What I missed?
Jared, you missed. Jason got through his round. If Jason wants to summarize real quick, he can. And Pat was just going through flash fights. You kind of dropped off about midway through your thought. So if you want to summarize your round two and take it back over.
Oh, I was simply summarizing what you had already said about a lot of times kids ruin movies, and the kid was good. And he acted well. Like everything he did made me believe that he was royalty, but young and optimistic and a good kid, So yeah, I liked him. It's rare for me to like kids and stuff, but that's where I was at. Lots of thunderstorms and a good old summertime in Alabama around here.
Yeah, it's that time, isn't it? Yeah, my point was that I thought it was kind of a what the maybe weakness flaw in the story when they said that the bad guys wouldn't kill the kid in Sherwood Forest. They would take him back to the castle and kill him there. And I said, I would have just killed him there, dumped him on the road, and blamed it on Robin Hood. And then you got rid of the kid, and you got the king all fired up at Robin and the Outlaws. Delvin's counterpoint was we've had several episodes now where we've seen Robin really establish himself with the people around, and would they buy that? And maybe the reason why they couldn't do that is because Robin has invested so much time and energy in earning the goodwill of the people in and around Sherwood Forest.
Good points all. Good points all. I will check in with the question I asked the chat about how they found Robin Hood. And Albert Elvis says, as a kid, I had a storybook of the Disney Robin Hood movie. That's probably his first experience. Radio Stories Now says Robin Hood Men in Tights 1993. Elvis, and I say yes. That was
There you go.
That's early Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. That's a good one. I love that one. Oh man.
That was my first one, was the Disney Robin Hood as well. I had the book series. That's where I first
go. I think that was going to come up a lot. Scott said as a kid, it was the Disney animated version. Later, it was Robin Hood Men in Tights, or the Robin Hood episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, which I can only remember one line from, but it is, I am not a merry man.
That's the only one you need to remember.
He smashed that loot. That was great. That was great. Jim Meal, our good friend Jim the Joe Junkie, says Disney's animated Robin Hood was his introduction to the character. Kathy says that she loves the animated movie and that she probably saw some Errol Flynn films because she's old. That's you don't have to be old to enjoy Errol Flynn.
Yeah.
And Courtney says that her favorite Robin Hood is Kevin Costner. And man, if you are of a certain age, that cannot be denied, man. Kevin Costner's Robin Hood owned the movie theater for the summer of
There's no love.
what, 91?
like
91, 92?
91, yeah. It was the summer of 91.
91.
Yep.
Oh, they're singing.
I'll stop.
I won't.
Oh my goodness. All right. That's it for all the rounds and whatever that was from
All the time.
I'm just watching our viewer numbers just plummet right now. Hey, did anybody have any additionals before I move into fun facts?
I'm going to apologize to Pat right off and you, Jared, right off the bat, because I know that I sounded dead on, you know,
Brian Adams.
like Brian Adams in that. So
they're not going to be able to defeat the algorithm. We're going to get copyright strikes.
Yep.
yeah, my bad.
I had a few. I'll go into my Robin fights.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah, I mentioned a little bit with the sword fight, so I'll get rid of that. I had Robin fights the dog in the muddy water. So against the muddy water, he kind of gets the dog out. Robin fights the woman's advancement at the bar.
Did he really? Did he really?
Well, you know, she wasn't asking for too much. So he was being nice there. Robin fights being duped, which he didn't get by. He got duped. Robin fights travel plans, or at least trying to plan travel. You know, if they would have just had like Google, it could have told them the shortest distance to get there instead of trying to go, well, they live over here, so we're going to go this way and that way. I'm like, man, can you imagine trying to map that out and not having an atlas or something, you know?
No, Pat, I could not have imagined.
I mean, we still got an atlas, a road atlas in our van when we travel, just in case things don't work out, you know. Kids these days don't know about what the struggles we had back then.
The SO maps.
Yeah. And then, when Robin fights the sword fight, which I really liked. That was a cool fight.
It was. I don't know if anybody covered this while I was in my blackout period, but I did like the part where the dude was like, you know, you get this kid return, you're going to make some very powerful friends and some pretty interesting enemies. And he was like, yeah, I could use a little both. Like, Robin, you're so
I like
cool.
that line. Yeah, it was very clever. Almost like Bond-esque. Bond.
It did feel Bond-esque.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, let's go ahead and get into the fun facts. And let me just be up front with you guys. I'm not Alan Wright, okay? I just did my best. And yes, I read a big, long article about this as I dug into it, but I condensed it down to a couple sentences because, frankly, it frightened and confused me like most of England's history does. I just wanted you guys to know that Constance, the Duchess of Brittany, was a real person who did indeed have a son named Arthur. And was in line for the throne. Like, a lot of that is true. A lot of what we saw in today's episode was true. And there's a lot more you can read about that, but I went cross-eyed. I got frightened, confused. We'll leave that to Alan Wright to straighten us out next time. She did have an untimely death, though. She died at 36 years old due to complications giving birth to twins. So, she had an odd life. There was a lot going on there. Much like in today's episode, there's a lot of power grabs and this and that, and it was complicated, but the basics, I just wanted you guys to know that the Duchess of Brittany, Constance, is real, and Arthur was real, and it was interesting times. And I'll let you guys research, or we'll have Alan on to make more sense of it than I did. And with that, we are going to get into arrow ratings. 5 arrows means you loved it. It saved your dog. 4 means it was very good. 3, it was good. 2, it was just okay. And 1, I didn't like it. It tried to kill a little boy. So yeah, there's a big
That ain't
spectrum
right.
on this one.
That's not right at all.
Not. We'll go reverse order. Jason, 1 to 5.
I'm going to give it a 4. I thought it was a very good episode. It's kind of funny when I'm watching these now, they're so good. I'm looking for like, what can I detract from this? Because I can't have them all be 5s, right? So I kind of watch it and I almost said like, well, it doesn't have a lot of action. And then in the last act, it had some pretty good action. So I was like, yeah, this is okay. I've got to at least give this a 4. The only reason why I'm not giving it a 5 is I'm not in love with that plot point. Should have just killed the boy right there in the forest. Should have, left us with a 1. Killed that little boy in the forest, left his mangled body on the trail, and blamed it on Robin Hood. 4 for
We're
me.
going to have to use some of that HR, that Patreon money for Jason's therapy lessons, everybody.
Oh, I'm married to a therapist now. I'm all right.
I don't know. Courtney also gave it a 4 in the chat while we're talking about that. And Delvin, what do you give it?
I'm in a good mood. I give it a 5. It was I like the kid character. I liked Robin Hood and his nobility and his code. I like that they saved the dog. The dog was impaired. You heard the yelps, and the dog was saved too. I mean, so come on. That's almost like Hallmark moments, right? You got the little kid that was plucky and cute. You got the noble hero, and you got a dog saved. I mean, come on. 5. All it need to be is like a Robin Hood Christmas. It would have been perfect for Hallmark. There you go. I enjoyed it very much.
Oh my goodness. Pat, what are you doing?
Well, like Delvin mentioned, you got Robin to save the dog, then he saves the kid, and then the kid saves Robin. But also you have everybody a lot of the big players showed up. You have Marion in this one, and she's doing her job. You have Friar Tuck's in this one. He's doing his Friar Tucky things. You have Little John, who's doing his stuff, and he's having fun with the kid. He learns to have a heart with that kid. Not that he didn't really have one to begin with, but it was just cool to see all around. So I'm with Delvin. So right now it's 2 cool guys out of 5.
I mean, if I'm going to be put on an island, I'm going to be put on Cool Guy Island. So go ahead and mark me down.
Yeah, woo!
Only one true teller in this group, folks.
I like it to a 5 just because it was, to me, of all the ones we've watched, they've all been pretty engaging, but this one felt extra engaging, especially with the dupage reveal. It was like, oh, that's not really the Duchess. I was like, what? Oh, no.
And Robin's look. He was not happy. Like,
nope.
Oh.
And they played that dupage out for so long. I looked at him like, oh my, what's going to happen here? There's like a little over 5 minutes left. Or what's going to happen?
Yeah, it was interesting. So yeah, I was a bit more engaged. So I'll go full 5 on it.
I did have a question, Jared. Maybe you know the answer to this, because I was watching it on the DVD nuts, and it's still the credits had Archie Duncan.
Yeah, the credits were wrong on mine as well.
Do they ever fix that? Do you know? Because I don't even remember. I'm gonna call this guy Archie Doppelganger if they don't give him.
Yeah, it was a Cruikshank or something like that. Yeah, but yeah, if you're late to the party, if you missed previous episodes, he's Archie Duncan is the usual Little John, and he's been replaced for a few episodes because he's in real life in 55. He was in the hospital because he saved a bunch of kids from a runaway cart, and he got like a medal of valor for it, and it was a really cool story. So yeah, he's mending in the hospital. He will be back. I thought the replacement guy did pretty good on this one, though. He was pretty funny.
He did.
He was, training the kid, sort of Mr. Miyagi style.
That kid had a big pile of wood, man. Oh.
He did. He went through it, man. He had nap time after that. He did.
All right. With all that said and done, it is time to get into the Sherwood Forest mailbag. And we are thrilled to kick off these comments with special try it like I've done this before. We are thrilled to kick off these comments with special shout outs to our Crusaders Club members. These are the fine folks who have joined our crusade. They get early access to special Longbox episodes. They get to vote on show content. I mean, the whole reason we're doing Robin Hood after we finished Sherlock Holmes is because y'all voted on it, and we appreciate it.
Heck yeah,
you guys get raffle
this has been
prizes.
awesome.
Yes, you have been awesome. You guys get entered for raffle prizes, which we are going to give away here shortly, and so much more. These are the folks reaping the benefits and giving some much appreciated support to the show. Clockwise, Jason.
Alan W. Wright.
And Helica Wolf.
Oh. Auburn Elvis.
Bill Beer.
Billy D.
Bradley Dello.
Braxton Underwood.
Carrie.
Clinton Robinson.
Captain Entropy.
Clark Westfield.
Dave Collins. Battle Wagon.
Eric Hodges.
Eric Porter.
Ezra Gallo.
Gary V.
Gene Hendricks.
George Meal.
George Green. I was gonna say. Gerald Green.
Heinz K.
Django Unfettered.
Jason King.
Jason Lady.
Jeff Polier.
Jim Jarman. I hope you like Jim Jarman too. Thank you, Pat.
Jim Neal.
Joe Man Conan.
Joe Thomas.
John Watson.
Josh Strickland.
Candace Ward.
Captivating Kathy Bright, the MVP, joining us live in the chat.
Matt and Lissy Paso.
Mark Ross.
Maxwell Traver.
Michael Minton.
Miranda W.
P. D. Devins.
Paul Hicks.
Rick from Jeff and Rick Present.
Ronald Easterday.
Rob Morgan.
Samantha Maney.
Sean Urbanski.
Snake Pliskin.
Spidey 67.
Spreadsheet.
Steve Cronin.
Steve Martin.
Tim Price.
Tony Pennington.
And the Toronto Cop. If we missed anyone on the list, we apologize. Keep in mind, we record these episodes well in advance of release. So if your recent edition will add you soon, but no worries. You can always let us know we missed you by sending an email to contact@longboxcrusade.com. Pat gets those. He'll get them straightened out. Use all the profanity you want. He's used to it.
Yes.
And if you're asking yourself, how do I become a Crusaders Club member? It's very simple. Patreon.com/longboxcrusade. For as little as $1 a month, you'll get access to the amazing world of Crusaders Club. Come and check it out. And if you don't have any extra scratch laying around, but you want to help us out, just take a moment to write a review or a comment, a like, a share, a repost, all that stuff. It all adds up and it helps. So we appreciate it. Speaking of comments, everyone strap in. Okay. We got 2 comments on our last Saturday Matinee Theater.
How about
Whoa.
Well, not our last one. This is from episode 91, where we covered episode 11 of Robin Hood. It was the husband for Marianne. I made a reference to it earlier when he played the German guy who came to marry her.
Yeah.
When that one dude was fraudulently trying to marry her for a land grab. We actually got a couple of comments, which on Saturday Matinee Theater is insane. But hey, we appreciate it. Jason, go ahead and hit us with our first one.
This might be our first comment ever. I don't know. I feel a lot of pressure to get this right. All right. So this comes from Sean Cavender. And he says, I'm a few episodes behind where you guys are. I hope to catch up very soon. And we hope you catch up very soon as well. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun in doing your homework here.
Yeah, absolutely. It was funny. I follow Sean on X. And he's a sort of a bonkers B-movie watcher like myself, and that's why we follow each other. And he posted that he was working his way through Adventures of Robin Hood 55, and I was like, dude, have I got a podcast for you? And he's popped up in a couple of our chats lately. So we're happy to have Sean kind of tentatively joining the LBC family here. Delvin, what else we got?
We got one from Clinton Robeson, who's listed here as a top fan, and I have to agree. Clinton says a lot of stuff on our stuff. So, Clinton, you're a top fan in my book too, man. He says wildest trivia nuggets yet in this episode. I wish I could remember them.
I can't remember that.
I remember any of those nuggets.
You guys remember?
Don't remember. I don't remember what they were, but now it makes me want to go back and listen again.
Was it with the lady? Was it about the Marion's handmaid or whatever? Like she was like, I remember you making
now you're reminding me that Alan was on that episode, and he mentioned that she was like a kind of a famous TV personality, I want to say, and that we all enjoyed her.
That could be, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember though.
Maybe.
I don't remember what the trivia nuggets were, but
I'm sure our top fan Clinton will make another comment and tell us what he was talking about.
What the heck we were doing. Oh, and well, guys, that's it for our comments. We did put the call out for comments because Saturday Matinee Theater is not our most popular show when it comes to comments and likes and shares, all that stuff. But we like doing it. We like it when you guys join us. All you folks in the chat that have joined us today, we appreciate it. And as always, I don't know that we've ever gotten a voicemail for this show. I think we've gotten a voicemail for about every other show, but I don't know if we've ever received one for this. So we would love for someone to call in our voicemail line and just leave us a voicemail on Robin Hood, Zorro. Go
Zorro,
old school and Flash Gordon and Batman and Sherlock Holmes. I don't care.
Alligator people. One of the movies.
Anything. It's all good. So if you want to do that, 707-532-5269, 707-532-L-BOX.
Pick up the phone, please.
Please. For the love of God.
Man, we're
I guess we could use it like, since this is retro stuff, we could say like, hey, Mac, use a nickel. Pick up the phone. Give us a ring-a-ding.
There you go. Oh, well, Jason, you've got the mic and you've got the closing.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode of Saturday Matinee Theater. If you'd like to hear more from us in the realm of comic books, check out the Longbox Crusade. Pat, where can they find that?
Well, Jason, I am glad you asked. You can find the Longbox Crusade out on all those fine podcatchers that are out there. Or just go to www.longboxcrusade.com. You can find us also on all the social media sites out there, and find us on YouTube like we're doing right now with this live show out on YouTube. You could join us in the chat. You might be winning a prize as well too, but I think you just win by having some fun in the chat with the cool chat that we have. It's all fun, and you can find everything we do at the Longbox Crusade. Just go ahead and add us at Longbox Crusade anywhere. And if we're not there, let us know, and we'll get there.
We'll force our way in somehow. Thank you, Pat. And if you want to hear us on our track through all things James Bond, check out On Her Majesty's Secret Podcast. We'll be recording another episode here pretty soon. Jared, where can they find that?
Oh, you could probably find it wherever you found Longbox Crusade. Just search On Her Majesty's Secret Podcast. We're hosted out of Apple Podcasts and Podbean, so plenty of podcatchers have us. You can go to www.secretpodcast.podbean.com. And over on X, we are at OHMS Pod if you want to chat with us there about James Bond and the peripheries. We've been having a lot of fun with the peripheries. In fact, the one that Jason alluded to that we're coming up is one of Pat's specials, which we're working through the Man from Uncle TV show, which was helped to be developed by Ian Fleming and the world of James Bond. And we're really enjoying that. So, if you like this old timey TV stuff, maybe check in with us over there and we'll talk with you about some Man from Uncle and a whole bunch of other stuff James Bond related.
All right. Thank you, Jared. Delvin, where can you be found if folks want to chat with you online?
Let's see. DEERAY1977 on Blue Sky, and Delvin Ray on Instagram and Threads. What about you, Pat?
Well, Delvin, I'm glad you asked. You can find me and Dave hanging out at Pat and Dave's Merrymen Tavern here in the good old Shored Forest area, where Thursday nights is ladies' night. It's double bubble for the ladies. Otherwise, you can find me on the X at Christatos01.
Ladies' night at Sherwood Forest is just Maid Marian and that barkeep from the Blue Bar staring at each other awkwardly. All right, Jared, where can they find you?
I am at Yard Sale Artist X, Facebook and Instagram. It is all at Yard Sale Artist. You can find me at Robin Hood Sandwich Shop at any of your AFES Exchange food courts if it was 1998.
And I guess I should say, if you happen to be in or near Charlotte, North Carolina around the weekend of June 20th, you can find us all at Heroes Con and come up and talk to us personally.
That works well for the live audience.
True. That's true. Guess we
all you folks in the chat, see you.
Yep. Well, that's what you get if you become a Crusaders Club member. Now you'll know where we're going to be in June. All right. So thanks for joining us for this episode of Saturday Matinee Theater. Get ready for our next episode. That means you got to get your whips out. You got to get them oiled. You got to get your 6-shooters loaded. And we're going to continue our coverage of the 1937 serial Zorro Rides Again. Chapter 7, Burning Embers. The meetup location, Casa de Vega. I hope that's not where the burning embers are.
No, I'm excited though, man. That last cliffhanger was a good one.
That was baller. But they didn't fool me because they can't kill him because he knows where that stupid deed is.
A lot going on. All right, that is the end of our official live recording. We'll give you guys some background, super secret stuff, and we'll do a raffle. So the first question, it goes to Delvin. What's the magic number for Courtney to be choosing from?
Okay, let me know if I missed someone. Good grief. Because I have Auburn Elvis, Kathy, Radio Stories Now, Scott O'Neill, Jim Meal. I forgot Courtney. Oh, Delvin.
Yeah, I saw Courtney mention she didn't get a notification.
Scott O'Neill, Jim Mill, Heinz Cook, and Courtney Holland. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so.
All in the chat, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all we got in the chat. So that's 7, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All right, Courtney, 1 to 7, if you would please, if you're still in the chat with us. And whilst she's doing that for us, I will give you guys the peek ahead at what's going on with Longbox. If you are a Crusaders Club member, you can join us on Wednesday night. And by us, I mean Pat and I are going to be talking G.I. Joe. We're going to be doing some recording. You can sit on a live recording of G.I. Joe. Wednesday night, we're going to be doing episode 64 and 65. So that will be the secret link for that will be on the Patreon page. I think she's got her number 6, Delvin. So let me grab something, turn my light on so I can see what I'm doing over here. All right, Sherlock Holmes books it is. I'm thinking a double volume for somebody. It's going to win a sweet double volume hardback collection. I got Adventures and Memoirs right there.
Oh, nice.
Looks fancy and looks like it'll look pretty good in the bookcase of Kathy Bright, who's the winner.
I like that. It usually saves me on shipping.
I'll tell you what.
Her. I think she's intending to go to Heroes Con, so that might just save us on shipping.
There you go.
And I mean, I couldn't think of a better person for those books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
Kathy
right.
does the Sherlock Holmes podcast that we have here on. So, woo, good for you, Kathy.
And Courtney, let's go to our Crusaders Club. The beautiful part about that is you get entered into the raffle, whether you're here live or not. That's one of the benefits. So 1 to 52, please, Courtney. And I'll put my mouse at a random location and go from there. And you know what? Crusaders Club members, why not? I got another double volume set.
What? Yeah.
Another double volume set. The complete books of Sherlock Holmes.
Wow.
Wow, that's a
And I have more Holmes books on screen. She dropped a 45, so it'd be easiest for me to just go back 7. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6.
That's good math,
7.
Jared.
And speaking of 7s, that would be our friend Spidey 67.
Ooh, Spidey.
Ooh,
67. Ooh, good
And
for
I was
Spidey.
chatting with him recently.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad we spun up his number because we were looking for more guests for Action Film Face Off. And he was on when we did Outsiders versus not Outsiders. Warriors versus something. And yeah, I got to get with him. I'm glad
the Warriors versus something the Warriors beat.
Yeah, more than likely. So yeah, I got to get with old Spidey 67 about that. Well, cool. Aside from that, folks, you know what? You've got your super secret Crusaders Club mission Wednesday at 9 p.m. as per usual. Pat and I will talk G.I. Joe. And then the week after that, we won't be any super secret stuff because we'll be working for the OHMS Pod Network, talking Man from Uncle. And we will be doing a little Sherlock Holmes radio recording, though, that evening. So that is what we have coming up in the next 2 weeks.
I'm going to be in the same position I was that last Wednesday. I got to hit the road up again for work. So I'm going to try to get ensconced in my hotel room in time. But it'll be up to the I-5 gods again.
So Pat's going to be me and you talking Sherlock Holmes radio. Well, he might make it by radio recording time.
I might. Yeah. I should be there by radio.
All right. Anybody else got anything else or any announcements?
No, I don't think so. I think
that catches us up.
Yeah.
Pat, I'll let you close it out, and I'll go back into dark mode.
Oh,
and
okay.
I'll act froze.
Oh, well, all right. Well, again, we appreciate everybody that listens to us. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that like button. Hit that notification button. Just when things have changed, go back, check your settings. I invite everybody to do that right now. Take a moment to just go and make sure you are connecting with us on all the social medias and all that. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to get you in comments, get our conversations going. If you want to become a Patreon member, come on out there. We're doing a lot of fun things over on Patreon as well, too. There's a weekly question that goes out. I love seeing the comments and answers to the questions that are being put out every Wednesday of our weekly Q&A questions for our Crusader Club members. And we get to know you, and you get to know us a little bit as well, too. So I really like seeing that and all that you do. So thank you very much for support in any way possible. We do appreciate it. And with that, we're going to act frozen, and we will all see you in the next show. Bye. Yeah, I'm hitting it now. Okay. Here we go. Oh, there goes down.
Balloon.